Hello and welcome back to Jimbo's PC Builds. Razer have recently released some Star Wars limited edition peripherals. They've released a keyboard, mouse and extra large mouse mat. Now, being an avid Star Wars fan and being particularly keen on Stormtroopers, I could not resist them. So I mentioned them to my wife and she got them for me for Father's Day. Now since then I've been using them extensively and I thought I would post up a review. Now, one thing to keep in mind, I am such an avid Star Wars fan and such an avid Stormtrooper fan. I'm going to try and give you a neutral review of these, but the chances are I'm going to be heavily swayed towards saying they're great purely because I'm such a fan of Star Wars stuff. I am, however, going to try and break down how each individual piece performs. Obviously the mat is just a mat that goes across your desk, so I'm going to be able to speak about it briefly, but it's a mouse mat at the end of the day. Comfort, etc. I'll go into. But without further ado, let's have a look at each of the pieces. As I mentioned, I'm pretty keen on Stormtroopers, so the mouse mat is very decorative. It's got 5 Stormtroopers on it, which is just awesome. It does a good length of your desk. It's pretty comfortable on the hand. No complaints about the mouse mat at all. Even if you're not a big fan of Stormtrooper, you just love Star Wars, it's very decorative, it's very nice and very comfortable, so I'd recommend you getting it. The mouse. The mouse itself, as you can tell, is actually pretty damn small. You can use it in either Bluetooth or wireless dongle mode. I'm using it in wireless dongle mode purely because it's faster, but it is really small. I would tell you that if you were a user of laptops, you would probably notice this to be more of a laptop stroke mobile type mouse. It's very small in the hand. I've only got very small hands and you can see it. My fingers are going over the end. So you have to put, if you pull back, if you've got long fingers, this will be a real problem for this mouse. But for me, having small hands, it's not too much of a problem. I'm not too great of a gamer. The mouse is responsive enough for me. The left click is very reactive, the right click is also pretty darn reactive, and it moves around and there's not much lag on the screen. Again, I'm not a big gamer, but I think it would be good enough for your average gamer per se. The padding along the side has got a rubberized grip, which is really nice, so that's quite comfortable. As I said, it's got a Stormtrooper on it, so it's great, obviously, but really the mouse could have done with just being that little bit bigger. To be in a part of a desktop set, it's just too small. But otherwise, because it's got Stormtroopers on it, it's great. Now the keyboard. The keyboard is backlit. You can't really see it because the lights are coming on for filming, but it is backlit. The caps key when pressed turns green rather than white. It's got a picture of a Stormtrooper on it, obviously, which makes it awesome. The one thing I would say about this is it's not a full size, which I've always been used to a full size keyboard, but I've kind of got used to it now. But the good thing about this keyboard is it's the Razer green keys, and while they're not the quietest keys in the world, they are pretty darn responsive. The shape is really good, the layout is pretty standard, the spacebar is pretty darn good. I would say for your either gaming or typing, it's excellent. I just really miss the extra num keys, etc. It's got 2 feet on the back, which you can flip to raise it up if you so desire. I actually prefer having it flat. It's also got rubber feet on, regardless of whether you have it up or not, so it doesn't move. Even without the mouse pad, if you put it on a desk, it stays nice and still. It's a pretty darn good keyboard. As a whole desktop set, if you love Star Wars, if you love Stormtroopers, it is just the set to have. As a Star Wars fan, I could not recommend this set anymore. If you're not a Star Wars fan, for the price you have to pay for it, I would maybe, the keyboard's good enough. The keyboard is excellent for anybody, no matter if you're a Star Wars fan or not. The mouse mat is pretty standard. It's the same length of other mouse mats you can get of the similar type. But again, the only thing that lets the whole set down is the mouse, even though it's got a Stormtrooper on it. So I hope you found that useful. Me personally, as an avid Star Wars and an avid Stormtrooper fan, it is the ultimate desktop set. I would say, however, as I mentioned, that some of the points I raised earlier need to be borne in mind. If you like your Star Wars but you're not a huge Stormtrooper fan and you're on the lookout for a gaming keyboard stroke mouse set, I may look elsewhere. As I mentioned, the keyboard with the Razer green switches is pretty damn fine and games really well. It's just the mouse, it's just not ideal for gaming. It's okay for somebody like I mentioned with me with small hands, but it's still got Stormtroopers on it, so it's great. Okay, so come back for more content. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you get to know when I've got more content available. Please like the video or dislike the video, whichever you feel like you want to do. Please leave comments, because again, as I've mentioned before, it's the only way we improve the channel. And always remember to take care.